morning, guys and girls. Welcome to a new video. It's first thing in the morning. I'm a bit tired. Hair isn't exactly on point. It's not bad though. Toy Story 5, guys. Look, Toy Story 5 has been announced, and it's been announced a bit ago. I'm not pretending this is something new, but I have only recently enough just seen this. And look, I thought Toy Story 4 was taking the absolute piss. No, look, Toy Story 5. I mean, Toy Story the original is fantastic. Toy Story 2 is also pretty cool. Toy Story 3 is one of those movies that's kind of has up and down opinions from people. Some people don't really know what to make of Toy Story 3, but then on the other half, people say it's good. I personally thought Toy Story 3 was a very good film. And then obviously you've got Toy Story 4, which came out relatively recently in terms of the Toy Story franchise. And having watched this movie a couple of years back, I thought it was absolutely shocking. And the reason why I thought Toy Story 4 was so shocking is when you watch Toy Story 3 and you see the ending of Toy Story 3 when Andy gives away his toys to that little girl Bonnie, I believe it was, at the end of Toy Story 3. He's gets out of his car, he's on his way to college, and he gets this box out of the back of his car, and it's got all of his favourite toys in. He's kind of, for the final time, saying goodbye to Woody and Buzz and all of the rest of the gang. And it was quite an emotional scene. It was a perfect way to end the franchise. Toy Story, the original, fantastic. The second one, brilliant. Toy Story 3 was a perfect lid. It was the perfect final movie in the Toy Story franchise. Particularly that scene when Andy literally turns back at the last minute to look at his toys for one last time. And that's the end of the story. You assume that is the end of the story. That's it. It's final. It's done. Toy Story is finished. Andy's gone to college. He's now grown out of this childish phase where he loves playing with toys, and now his toys are going to a different home and they wave goodbye on the doorstep, and it's emotional. It was, honestly, when you consider it was actually a teenage lad departing from his toys, it was actually quite upsetting. But lo and behold, this modern era of filmmaking, here comes Toy Story 4, which has no right in existing. No right in existing. The story has been told, but yet Toy Story 4 comes along and they think, how can we continue the story? There was no story to continue. And obviously quite recently now we've heard about Toy Story 5. Now I'm kind of thinking to myself, the only thing I'm thinking to myself is, why can't they seem to end these franchises? Why do they continue to make and create these franchises that should have ended ages ago? And I'll tell you why. I've said it many times. It's all for money. Toy Story 5 has no right in being a movie, but they'll make it anyway because they know Toy Story is going to attract worldwide attention. That's why we see Star Wars continuing. That's why we see Jurassic World continuing. Big name franchises, not even just, sci-fi or action films or funny family films, horror films. Halloween continues and continues and continues. The Saw franchise continues and continues and continues because they know it makes money. These franchises are literally preying on the nostalgia feeling of us human beings. I dread to think what Toy Story 5 is even going to be about. I thought Toy Story 4 was pointless. I think the first two are really good. The second one, you've got Al's Toy Barn. They're rescuing Woody from Al's Toy Barn. A good story, a fun film. Toy Story 3, I actually thought that playhouse, it was like the school, there wasn't it, the child's school, the child's play school, where you've got an evil bear called Lotso, was a really good, it was a good concept. It was a good idea. Toy Story 4 was just, they're just dragging out a franchise for the sake of it because it makes money. And then Toy Story 5, I dread to think what Toy Story 5 is even going to be about. What could Toy Story 5 possibly be about? I mean, it's pointless. It really is pointless. And like I said, not to mention the story had a fitting finale in Toy Story 3, in which you think to yourself, after Toy Story 3, what an ending. What an ending. What a franchise, They finished it in a fantastic way. It started all those years ago with Toy Story the original. What a great film that was, and what a great way to end it in Toy Story 3. What a final scene. It couldn't have been better. The first three movies for me couldn't have fallen any better. And then all of a sudden, they think to themselves, we need to carry this on because it's Toy Story. We can make a lot of money from Toy Story. And then, the co-director or the co-writer comes up and says, well, what's it going to be about? Doesn't matter. It's Toy Story and it makes money. Did you not hear me a moment ago? And don't be surprised, guys. Honestly, I'll say this with the greatest of certainty. When we look at other franchises like the Star Wars franchises and so on, and Halloween, you know, Scream even, all the films I've talked about before, Jurassic Worlds, believe me, that Toy Story 5 is not going to be the final Toy Story film. Toy Story 5 is probably going to be one of those movies that we watch, you know, I think it comes out next year, we watch it and we think, okay, Toy Story 5, it's done. And then all of a sudden, 6-7 months later, we hear the announcement of Toy Story 7. A year later, we hear the announcement of Toy Story 8. And honestly, they will never end. They'll probably even have the origins of Toy Story. They'll have some kind of expansion of it, and where they talk about stuff that no one really gives a shit about. The Buzz Lightyear film I've never actually watched, and I probably won't because it's based on an actual action figure. But I cannot bring myself to watch films that are based on singular characters. I cannot bring myself to watch films that are based on singular characters. It's just cash-grabbing, money-driven nonsense, and I will not watch it. And honestly, I don't think anyone out there... I would love to see in the comments if anyone out there actually thinks Toy Story 5 will be a good film. Honestly, I dread this film. It's going to be absolute shite. It's going to be absolutely shite. I will be surprised if Toy Story 5 is anything other than terrible. Honestly, I'm expecting a terrible, terrible film. And if it ends up being anything different to that, okay, I will actually acknowledge that I was wrong. But I'm never wrong with these things. I'm not being big-headed or anything. There's been so many modern-day films I watch where people say, oh, I'm excited for that. I'm thinking, why are you excited for that? Why are you excited for a Saw 9? Saw 9 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, how can you be excited for the 5th instalment of a franchise that you know should not even be having a 5th instalment? It's like I said, I understand the kids of this generation being excited and loving it because they don't know any different. But adults that have grown up with the historic Toy Story films, to actually sit there and think, oh, this is a good film, I don't understand it. Honestly, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I just spat all over the place. Sorry. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I don't understand it. And I'll never, ever understand it. But like I said, this won't be the last Toy Story film. This is not going to be the last Toy Story film. So they'll probably make a Toy Story film in time based on Sheriff Woody. They'll probably just make a Toy Story film called Woody. And it'll just be about the origins of Sheriff Woody the toy. Or the real life person. I don't know. Honestly, they will never end Toy Story. Toy Story is not going to end. If it didn't end after Toy Story 3, it certainly ain't going to end after Toy Story 5. They will never end these franchises. And it comes back to a video that I've done before where they just keep releasing movie after movie for the sake of it. They don't need to do it. And I know why they do it. It's for financial reasons. Toy Story is a money maker. And, you know, it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, animated film franchise of all time. And due to that, they will not leave it alone. They will not leave it alone, and they should have left it alone. And this is the thing, know when you've got a good thing, or know when you've made or created a good thing. Know when to finish something off. You don't finish something off when it's actually on its knees. You finish it off on top so the legacy remains intact. This is the problem with so many things. If Toy Story would have ended on Toy Story 3, you could arguably say Toy Story was the greatest franchise, if not one of the greatest franchises of all time, because it ended on a strong note with 3 solid films. But now, with Toy Story 4 and 5, you know, Toy Story 4, obviously, I've seen. Toy Story 5 in the works and, you know, being thrown into the shake. Toy Story 5 is going to be shit, and I can honestly safely say that in my own mind it's going to be terrible. Toy Story is diminishing its legacy. The legacy of Toy Story is being diminished by the fact that they don't know when to quit. And it's upsetting. It's a shame because you see it with so many films now. You see it with so many great franchises now, just being torn apart because of greedy directors and greedy writers. So yeah, guys, Toy Story 5, I mean, what is the point? What a joke. What an absolute joke. I mean, honestly, the only positive I could probably say is that the teaser trailer for the film, when I watched the teaser trailer for Toy Story 5, it didn't release too much, it didn't show too much, which is probably a good thing, because when I watch trailers now, it gives me an even worse opinion of a film, you know, because I just think, oh my god, that looks terrible. But at least the Toy Story 5 teaser trailer didn't give away too much at all. It didn't give away anything, in fact. So, you know, that's probably a plus. But is Toy Story 5 going to be good? Are you looking forward to Toy Story 5? Let me know in the comments below. What is your favourite Toy Story film? You know, do you think Toy Story should have ended years ago, Toy Story 3? Or do you think Toy Story should have ended before that? Or do you actually agree with the fact that Toy Story is continuing to build on its legacy? In my view, destroying its legacy, but you guys might disagree. You guys and girls might actually think, you know what? What harm does it really do? The audience love it. You know, who cares? But guys, give me your thoughts. No matter what it is, guys and girls, give me your take. I will see you guys and girls very, very shortly for another video. It's back to the movie reviews for me as well now. back to the movie conversations, which I love doing. Got a bit of a cold as well, it won't shift. But anyway, guys and girls, I will see you soon. Take care of yourself, and I'll make another video very shortly. Look out for it. Goodbye.